What is the #1 single trick that's going to make the biggest difference in taking a beginner animation to the next level? That's what I was asking Satomi, one of our most skilled animators. A lot of people send her their animations, some wanting to join our show, others looking for advice on how to improve. She saw a pattern in those animations that kept coming up with each one she saw. The answer she gave me is what I'm making this first chapter all about. My name is Michael Huang, and thank you for joining me in this Graphy. The animation you just saw uses the techniques you're about to learn, and they're what this first chapter is all about. This Graphy is made with the assumption that you can use Adobe Animate at a basic level. You know the layout of the program, you can create symbols, and you know what tweens do, just things you can learn from the manual. But if not, that's still okay because it should still be possible to follow along. Let's go. Now, the way this chapter is going to go is that instead of me giving you a million rules to remember from the start, we're going to sketch out a not so perfect animation, and then I'll give you a set of tips to take it to a much more impressive animation. First, you're going to make sure you have the standard BFDI assets file by going to bfdi.tv/assets, which has all the original BFDI character art and a lot of outdated art from episode 1. It's basically unchanged since we uploaded it in 2012. Now, if we go over to the library, we're going to see 4 folders, and the one we care about is body parts. And that's what has all the character bodies, the arms, the legs, the eyes, and the mouths. Now, everything we're about to do, you can definitely do with, for example, blocky body. You can totally use these assets here, but for just this Graphy, I've made a grandfather clock asset, which you can also download from the same webpage, but you really don't need it to follow along, it's just here to look cool. Now, we're going to start by making a layer for each of the body parts that we're putting on the stage, so that each symbol has its own layer. And that's because if you're using tweens, which we definitely are, you're going to want each layer to have one symbol. Or Animate's going to give you this, or it'll put a tween 1 in your library and generally not do what you want. So 1 layer per symbol. Now, usually my way of ordering the layers is to put the face, which is the eyes and the mouth, on layers which are right above the body, and the legs go underneath. Then the arm that's closer to the camera goes at the very top, so it's in front of the body, and then the arm that's behind goes in the back. And that's just the way that I usually set it up. Now, each symbol that's on the stage has its own transformation point, and you can drag that point to anywhere that's on or off of the symbol. That's the location that the symbol rotates around when you're tweening it, which makes a pretty big difference in the motion that it makes. So when you're placing the arms and the legs, drag the transformation point to the base of the limb. Or, pro tip, you can double click it to reset it to the registration point, which is the plus-shaped location that it gave the symbol when it first created it. So the same with the legs, double click and double click. Now we can actually play with these as if they're real limbs and like this is a real shoulder that's attached to my body. Similarly, these here are real limbs. And we could drag the bottom edge of this to skew it, like that. Similarly with this. We have now set up our character.